Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let me introduce myself. My full name is Kenia Fiasa Salsabila, with my student number is 20524020. So, on this occasion, I will explain about material from methodology study Islam course. And maybe let's get started to the first material about introduction to Islamic study methodology. Methodology comes from the words methods, which means way, and logos, which means knowledge. So, methodology is the study of methods or ways. Islamic studies are efforts to understand Islam deeply and systematically. The purpose of studying Islam methodology is to help us understand Islam better, learn the original teaching of Islam, understand Islamic values, and study the main source of Islam, such as the Quran and Hadith. Islamic study methodology is important because it helps us avoid incomplete understanding of Islam. It also helps Islam stay relevant in modern times, correct misunderstanding about Islam, develop knowledge, and strengthen tolerance and harmony among people. In modern life, Islamic study methodology has important roles. It helps people understand Islamic scientifically, connects Islamic teaching with social life, supports research, and provides solutions to problems faced by society. The scope of Islamic studies is divided into two parts: normative and non-normative studies. Normative studies learn Islam as a religious teaching, while non-normative studies learn Islam from social, cultural, and historical perspective. So in conclusion, Islamic study methodology is very important because it helps people understand and apply Islamic teaching in a relevant, moderate, and useful way in modern life. Okay, and the second material about the history and development of Islamic studies in the world. The development of knowledge started in ancient Greece, continued in China, and reached its golden age during the Islam or around 750 to 1258 AD. Muslim scholars such as Al-Khwarizmi, Ibn Sina, and Al-Biruni made great contribution to science and knowledge. Science and knowledge. Before Islam developed, cities like Athens, Alexandria, and Jundishapur became important centers of knowledge and translation from Greek and Persian into the Islamic world. India and China also contribute to mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and geography. And in the Islamic world, educational centers grew in Baghdad, Cairo, Damascus, and Andalusia. Famous institutions such as Nizamiya and Al-Azhar become important centers of Islamic studies. In the West, Islamic studies began to grow during the Middle Ages through trade and the Crusades. This study was known as Orientalism, which means Western studies about the East and Islam. However, some people criticized it because it was often influenced by politics and Western perspectives. In Indonesia, Islamic studies developed through preaching and social interaction. At first, it was informal. Then it developed through pesantren and madrasah. After independence, Islamic education become more modern and combine religious knowledge with general knowledge. Today, Islamic studies use different methods such as Bayani, Burhani, Tajribi, and Irfani. Islamic studies are also more modern because they use interdisciplinary approaches and are more relevant to modern life. In conclusion, Islamic studies continue to grow and play an important role in helping people understand Islam in broader, modern, and open way. So, the third material about religion in human life. In general, religions is a belief system that becomes a guide for human life. Religion is not only about beliefs and worship, but it is also an important part of social life. According to Clifford Geertz, religion is a system of symbols that shapes people's way of thinking and living. Meanwhile, Ibn Khaldun said that religion helps unite society and create harmony among people. Religion has several important functions in human life. First, the spiritual function, which helps people with a relationship with God. Second, the moral function, which helps people know what is right and wrong. Third, the social function, which strengthens relationship and solidarity among people. Fourth, the psychological function, which gives peace of mind and mental strength. So, in daily life, religion plays an important role in family, education, society, and decision making. Since childhood, religion helps shape personality, build positive character, and guide people until adulthood. Religion also has a relationship with science and culture. Religion and science can work together when they are used wisely. Religion also helps shape culture, tradition, and social values. Examples include the use of digital technology for religious activities and determining the beginning of Ramadan and Eid. In the modern era, religion faces many challenges such as globalization, technological development, secularization, moral crisis, radicalism, and digital information. Therefore, religion should be understood in a broad, open, and wise way. So, in conclusion, religion has a very important role in human life as a moral, spiritual, social, and psychological guide. Religion also helps people live meaningful and ethical lives. And then for material about the characteristic and dimensions of Islamic teachings. The characteristics of Islam are the special qualities of Islamic teachings, while the dimensions of Islam are important part of the teaching such as faith, worship, and morals. The first characteristic is Rabbaniyah, which means Islamic teaching come from Allah, not from human ideas. For example, Muslims pray and act honestly because of Allah's commands. The second characteristic is Shumuliyah, which means Islam is complete and covers all aspects of life, including family, economy, society, and government. The third characteristic is Wasatiyah, which means balance and moderation. Islam teaches people to live in a fair and balanced way between worldly life and the afterlife. The fourth characteristic is insaniyah, which means Islam highly respects humanity through kindness, helping others, and social care. The fifth characteristic is alamiyah, which means Islam is universal and can be applied to all people in different places and cultures. Islam brings goodness to all creation. Islam also has several dimensions. The first is Aqidah, which means belief in Allah, angels, holy books, prophet, the day of judgment, and destiny. The second is Ibadah, which means worship and devotion to Allah, such as prayer, fasting, and charity. The third is Akhlaq, which means good behavior like honesty, patience, and respecting others. Islam also includes the dimension of knowledge and culture, education, social life, economy, and politics. In all these areas, Islam teaches justice, responsibility, and public welfare. In conclusion, Islam is a complete balance and universal religion. Islam teachings guide not only relationship between humans and Allah, but also relationship with other people and society. And the fifth material about Islamic as a cultural phenomena. Etymologically, Islam means peace, safety, obedience, and surrender to Allah. Islam is not only understood as a religion, but it also influences social and cultural life. Culture is the result of human creativity, feelings, and ideas that can be seen in tradition, language, clothing, art, and daily life. Islam as a cultural phenomenon means that Islam is not only a religious teaching, but also part of social life that interacts with local culture. This interaction creates tradition, norm, art, and new social practice in society. The spread of Islam in Indonesia happened through trade, Sufi preaching, marriage, and education. During this process, Islam adapted to local culture without removing the main values of Islamic teaching. Islamic influence in culture can be seen in many forms, such as sekaten, gedebek maulud, selamatan, and etc. Islamic culture can also be seen in architecture, like the Demak Mosque, wayang kulit performance, batik, and etc. Islam also gives positive impact on Indonesia culture, such as strengthening moral values, developing intelligent tradition, and enriching cultural identity. However, there are also negative impacts, such as syncretism, cultural conflict, and the loss of spiritual meaning when traditions are practiced only formally. And the last material about methods in Islamic studies. So, methods in Islamic studies are ways used to understand Islam correctly based on the Quran and Hadith. The study methods developed from the time of Prophet Muhammad SAW through Quran studies, Hadith, language, history, and philosophy. There are several methods: rational, traditional, spiritual or kashfi, synthesis, historical, and sociological methods. So, the purpose of these methods is to avoid misunderstanding, encourage open-minded thinking, distinguish religion from culture, and make Islamic understanding more relevant to modern life. Maybe enough for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.